I'm Darron Pickstock, PLP candidate for Golden Isles. The only candidate with a real plan to get things done in the community. And I've already started by listening, solving problems, and showing up. That's the kind of representative you deserve. From repairing infrastructure to connecting you to opportunities, we can make real progress over the next year. Give me this chance on November 24th, and I'll prove just how much we can accomplish together.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. The Foundation with Howard Grant continuing to be able to jam. I got some great people being able to come through. We had Karen Butler right now. We have the candidate for the Progressive Liberal Party. Turn me up on the telephone.
A new generation, a new vibration.
Pull it up. Let's hear this.
Stand up, stand up, stand up. Darron Pickstock.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an exciting time.
A new generation, a new vibration. Action time now. Forward with Pickstock.
This campaigning time in the city.
Just action. That's the winning plan, no distraction. Forward, stock a device, get the traction. Darron Pickstock run the election. Stronger. Community, just action. Golden Isles rising at the faction. Unity. Better desired, full satisfaction. Darron Pickstock run the election. Young, I need the future insight. Pickstock.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to the candidate, the Progressive Liberal Party's candidate for the constituency of Golden Isles. By-election going to be held in just a few days. PLP's candidate, none other than former Senator, now candidate, Darron Pickstock. My brother, it is absolutely wonderful to have you with us today. It is a great thing that you decided to stop by here at the studios with us and jam. How are things, man?
Man, listen, it's a pleasure being here. I wanted to come on your show from day one.
I know that.
And so thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me. I look forward to the discussion.
Well, I look forward to you being able to come back more. Even your contributions as a senator, even your poise, I continue to be able to say this to you. I say this to Barry. I say this to Randy, all senators. I say this to Joe Beth, and all those, the youth that the PLP is identifying and being able to put to the forefront. I know that there's a grave responsibility that you have, but I want to, remind you that we're all watching you with bated breath, with great expectations, with hopes that you do what is required for the nation in terms of being able to move in the right direction. So we support you, right? I don't know who's PLP from who's F&M, but we know you and our age group.
Yes.
You and our age group.
Absolutely.
We could have been in school together at the same time. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so when we see this, it is a representation of a transition that's happening in the country. And so we're grateful that you're being able to take this. And I know that this may be overwhelming at times.
Yes.
I know that this could be, I watch you, I watch you, your first speech from an official standpoint, post ratification. I watched you and I said, this is an amazing thing.
It is such
Talk to me about it.
experience. I am just, you know what I like most of all? I like connecting with constituents. I like sitting down in the homes of constituents and just them sharing that story.
Yeah.
It gives a family island feel.
I like
so I really enjoy that. I really enjoyed growing up in the family island, Acklands and Andros. My mother's from Acklands. My father is from Mastic Point in North Andros.
Oh, you're an island man.
Yeah, so when I sit down in homes and people start to share things with me and trust me with their stories, when they invite me into their homes and say, son, do you want a cup of water? And they share that story with me. I love that. That's the part I enjoy the most.
I had an opportunity to be able to do a little campaigning myself with my mother, with myself, and so forth and so on. And I know exactly what you mean. Being able to connect with people, it gives you a different perspective. Yes. You thought you were doing one particular thing, but when you hear from the residents of a constituency, they say, hey, listen, no matter what your thoughts are, this is where the issues exist in our community. This is what we need you to be able to help with. It really gives you a different perspective.
It does. It does give you a different perspective, and you're trusted, with that story, and you're trusted with people's inner thoughts and things that concern them.
Yeah.
And so, you're in a sacred position. And so you have to be able to connect to people. I tell people all the time, you have to love people. If you do not love people, this is not the spot for you.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love people. I mean, and this didn't just start. I've always loved people. I've always been in some service type role, whether it was me serving as a packing boy at Kenneth Food Store on Prince Charles.
Prince Charles?
Yeah, man. Listen.
Oh my God.
And I was only so big, so I had to fight for my pack. Whether
You couldn't box nobody out there. All of his mind. Watch yourself, right?
I had to fight for every pack that I got because fellas is try to bully you from your time.
Yeah.
Or whether it was me serving as a busboy, whether it was me serving in
You come up to the trenches, sir.
yeah, man, space cleaning. I worked with Donna Hamilton and Stuart Bow down in Beach Towers during my space cleaning days. And then I worked with Hilton Bowleg and Anime Strawn when I started to work in Marketplace as a busboy. And I had an amazing experience, all right?
This man is a common man. You come from the common man.
No, absolutely. And even qualifying as an attorney, I see that as a service role. I'm a service provider. I am nothing more as an attorney than a service provider. That's all I am. And even going to school, I had to work at night and go to school in the day just to pay my school fee. I worked as a security guard in the blistering cold in the UK. Blistering cold. Just to pay my school fee for me to go to school. That's how I got through.
That's amazing.
That is how I got through. And I pulled myself up by my bootstraps.
You know what I hear in this story? Persistence, consistency, determination, focus, commitment. This is what I hear in this story. And in this story that we're being able to hear about this sort of an idea that's happening out here, we could hear the passion of a young man, the determination of a young man, the focus of a young man. And, the PLP being able to give you an opportunity is absolutely amazing. I mean, even before this nomination and opportunity even came up with the Golden Isles, to be able to be identified as a senator is an amazing thing. Talk to me about your service to party, your service to the civic aspect or the civic arm of our country for growth and development.
Well, this started a long time ago. It didn't just start as me being appointed as a senator. It started with me attending Boys Brigade with Captain Bullard and Friendly Palmer.
You're becoming a very good politician. I just want to let you know this. The only people who's call everybody name is Picewell. And he's the hardest. Picewell is the hardest, but I just want to let you know this. I enjoy this. Go ahead.
It started back then when they poured into me. And that set the tone from what my grandmother and my mother and father taught me. That set the tone for my community-based outlook on whatever I do. And so I give back. I mentor. I'm a part of the Next Gen's Boys mentoring program with Senator Ronald Duncan. And, we had many young men graduated out of that cohort and went on to do some amazing stuff. Whether it's me training young men in the Boys Brigade, whether it was just all service-based.
People don't get to see this side of you, People don't get, they paint a narrative from a political standpoint and they plaster it over social media. They denigrate you, your family. They talk whatever they need to talk just because you are a proverbial opponent. You don't necessarily agree with their politics and you serve another organization. And so they do whatever they can, but they don't know the heart of a man.
No.
They don't know the service that existed in you even before the idea of ascension to a political organization came.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember starting the Yamacraw Pace Setters. I was a teenager. And that was just to help young men focus. I was a teenager. But this was my thinking at that point. And so, what you're seeing is just a manifestation of me being very community minded, very focused on helping someone along. Because this is what it's about. If you cannot do that, then really your living is in vain, right? If you cannot help somebody along. And the reality is, someone help all of us.
I agree with you.
All right?
I agree with you, man. Listen, Darron, this is an exciting time. Like I said to you, I never like to kind of geek out about these things. I just want to let you know. Anytime I see young people, I can tell you all, anytime I see people my age bracket and younger,
Yes.
it says to me that the country or the politics in this country is being able to turn the curb, is being able to understand that it's important that you transition. That proverbial baton that Miles Monroe spoke about, that you must not die with that clinched to your hand in the casket and someone got to go and yank it from you, that this free-flowing transition that's happening, that must happen. I got to commend the Progressive Liberal Party for being able to give an opportunity to youth and being able to find it like that. So how do you see the philosophy of the organization? I know that there was, if you were paying attention when you were younger, there was always this sort of an idea about the good, the bad, and the ugly that existed in politics. Who's good, who's bad, who's dangerous, who's crooked, who's this, who's that. And now your participation in the organization has given you sort of a different view. Tell me about that.
Well, what attracted me initially to the Progressive Liberal Party is its philosophy. And for me, that is summed up in the poetic words of Sir Arthur D. Hannah, to wipe every tear from every eye. And that's just not a cliche. That means something. And that sums up the philosophy of the PLP, to help the downtrodden, to pull my brother up. That is why I'm attracted to the PLP, because of its philosophy. And so that is what I see, right? And how it is understandable sometimes why people are cynical about politics, about politicians, because they promise and they don't get things done. That's the truth.
We know a politician who could promise now. They'll promise you the world.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bow for it. I'm gonna put a bow on top of the word and never show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you get whipped with that. Not necessarily even from your former, the late Von Miller. We ain't even talking about him. I know you would have gotten whipped with that. And people placed you in a category over these past few weeks when you're being able to touch people. Now, all of y'all, and there's sort of an idea to just lump you in or throw you in the bucket of the inconsistency, the lack of passion, the lack of vision, the lack of insight. And now people have this kind of a taste in their mouth. How do you deal with that? How do you now present yourself to your constituents and be able to differentiate yourself from those particular persons or the tradition of how things have happened before and say, this is what you can expect from me?
You have to be honest. You have to speak truth to power, right? I'm running on my own record. I'm my own man, right? But they've seen this picture before, right? When I speak about, people being cynical about politics, they've seen it, and they have a right to call it out. But I'm a new generation politician. I'm not.
They beating you with an old switch.
They beat me with an old stick.
My God.
Right? And that is precisely why I'm running. That is exactly why I'm running.
You think you could change the mindset? You think you could be able to change these things? We've seen Brian Brown take on this kind of a posture and says that in the event that you are not successful, bushcracked, man, gone. And then you come back and retort this sort of an idea that we will remain committed to these things.
Absolutely.
Do you believe that with precision, what is it? Well, let me ask you like this. What does it take to be able to shift that stigma?
Well, it's really about building trust, right? So much has happened over the political trajectory of this country. So much has happened in the past that you are building trust, right? And the only way you build trust is through consistency. You have to be consistent, and you have to do what you say that you are going to do. That's how you build trust. That's why I'm a new generation leader. That's why I'm running, because I'm going to be consistent, and I can do what I said that I could do.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're here. We're having a good conversation. I'm truly enjoying this. It's kind of an enthusiasm that I have. I want to get into a couple of things. I want to know about this kind of a pushback. Before I even try to take a break, I want to know about this. Most recently, it seems like there's a target on your back. I want to say this to you, and I won't be able to talk about this with you. It seems like there's a target on your back. It seems like because you are being able to come out of the strength of an organization, which is the government of the day, that automatically you're the man to beat.
Yes.
That's what it seems like.
Yes.
And without being able to identify it, we see even organizations, individuals, corporations take on this kind of a position to be able to throw dirt on your name in one way or another. Not necessarily. I don't want to be as decent as I can.
No, you're telling the
right?
truth.
It's because I'm watching the manipulation of words, of language. I'm being able to contort what you say to be able to give the impression of something else.
Correct.
And I'm not seeing that anywhere else.
Yeah, yeah, and that is precisely what is happening. I mean, just recently, the opposition leaked a photo of my daughter and my personal number all over social media. This is my 6-year-old daughter. I mean, is that the kind of thing?
That's very low.
But that's the old style politics in this country, and this is precisely why I'm
And this
fighting
is why
against
people
that.
tell you politics is dirty.
It is,
I
but
never expected this, by the way.
but you just we don't have to, because I'm going to go higher. When they go low,
You go higher.
I'm going higher.
Okay, come on.
So I'm not even playing in the mud with them. Whether it's an AI generated recording of me saying something, it is just it's continuous with the opposition, and so tonight I can expect just nastiness because they have no plan. If you ask them to produce a plan, they have no plan. How can you lead? That's not leadership.
You mean the organization as a whole, or you mean Brian Brown? Because
Well,
we have a view of the Free National Movement in terms of what they did or lack thereof. Brian Brown seems to be adamant about the fact that because he is a resident of the constituency of Golden Isles, that victory is an eminent thing.
That's not a plan. He has no
I just
plan.
needed you to see that. I know that you don't plan.
That's not a plan.
I'm from here.
Yeah, that's
All
not,
right, thanks.
That's not leadership. You know, living in a constituency doesn't fix a pothole.
My God.
Living in a constituency doesn't pave roads, doesn't fix street lights, fix parks. That's just
Well, we can see that because as soon as you show up, and then you're dealing with this also, as soon as you show up, the mechanism, the mechanics come behind you to ensure that they could be able to fortify their man
Yes.
and ensure that these particular things are done.
yes.
And so all the agitation or casual conversations that the opposition may have had to hope that they could get some things done, you come and do it like that.
Absolutely.
So did living in the constituency provide you an upper hand to get these things done? And as I look at it, I don't think so. Darron Pickstock came here and was able to knock it out.
Well-
Is this something that we can expect from you going forward?
Absolutely, and that's why I'm a strong advocate. You know, I've advocated all my life. As an attorney, I've advocated. In the Senate, I've advocated for legislation, and sometimes I rejected legislation coming from the government. I speak truth to power. I advocate, right? And that is what Golden Isles will get from me. They will get a lion. They will get a strong advocate, just like how I advocated for people as an attorney, very strongly. That's who Golden Isles will get, a strong advocate.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take this commercial break. When we get back, I want to talk a little bit more about vision, the concepts and ideas. I see we have a 10-point plan here to be able to talk about these particular things. Building on progress. Darron Pickstock for Golden Isles. We're going to talk a little bit more about this. We're going to take this quick commercial break, guys. We're going to be right back after this.
I'm Darron Pickstock, PLP candidate for Golden Isles, the only candidate with a real plan to get things done in the community. And I've already started by listening, solving problems, and showing up. That's the kind of representative you deserve. From repairing infrastructure to connecting you to opportunities, we can make real progress over the next year. Give me this chance on November 24th, and I'll prove just how much we can accomplish together.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here with the candidate for the Progressive Liberal Party. Let's just be very clear. We're an equal opportunity talk show, and we want to be able to make sure that everyone's here. But I ain't going to drag you. Amen? I ain't going to yuck you and say, come, let's go, right? If you decide to come on. I'm not going to fight you, right? We're going to have a great conversation. But I'm grateful to both you and Karen Brand for being able to take the invitation that we extended you. And we're excited to be able to see that there is, it's unfortunate circumstances, right? Yeah. For the death and transition of Vaughn Miller, who was a dear friend to us. He comes from media. I've known him for a very long time. I lived in the constituency on Boatswain Hill.
Wow.
I lived in Boatswain Hill West, okay. Right there in the very first corner on the left. When you go all the way in the back there, and you see them townhouses. Yep. One of them was mine. All right. You understand? I lived there for almost 10, 11, 12 years, something like that, right? Mm-hmm. And we just recently moved east in Nassau, deep into Nassau. And so I know about the constituency. I know about the position. I remember Michael Alcides coming to my door, Vaughn Miller coming to my door, and then I remember Vaughn Miller coming to my door again in a different... I said, Vaughn, what you doing, right? And so we know, I have fond memories of Vaughn and what he's done, and his sort of commitment to national growth and development in every capacity. And so it's a bittersweet circumstance. Bitter in the person of being able to see that we lost someone that we held near and dear to our hearts, and sweet for the idea of invigoration or reinvigoration, the idea of growth development, the idea of sustainability, the idea of an opportunity, the idea of the baton being passed on. So it's bittersweet, and we're looking at this with the optimism. Yes. With the optimism that all of us hold near and dear to our hearts for our country, for our communities. And so we're hoping that this opportunity is really to empower the constituents of Golden Isles, because this is a template. Yes. This is a template for the country to look at now, between this and the constituency of West Grand Bahama. We're looking at this with the expectation to know that this New Day administration can and will do what they say leading into the next general election. Absolutely. To find themselves back in a position of victory after D-Day. Talk to me. Yes. Well, this like you say, I 100% agree with you. This is a platform, and this will show people exactly what the government is continuing to do, because the government has done a lot and continue to do a lot, but there is a lot more to be done. Yes. Right? A whole lot more to be done. And this is why, just coming back to my plan, this is precisely why I developed, and this plan was developed. This plan was developed so that the people of Golden Isles can understand what to expect from me. And the way this plan was developed is by creating a focus group through Golden Isles that went around and listened, along with myself, listening to people, understanding what are their concerns,
And through a compilation of all of those concerns, we developed this plan. People spoke about new spaces for their families and youth and seniors in the community. And so what we did was they were speaking to a community center. That's what they were speaking with, to. Sorry. People spoke about opportunities. People spoke about mentorship. There are a lot of young men and women throughout the constituency of Golden Isles. And the same focus that I brought to whether it was Violets Are Blue, Young Men's Mentorship, whether it is Yamacraw Pace Setters, whether it's Next Gen, I want to give Golden Isles that same level of focus, where I focus on mentoring young men and women and through their leadership network. And so this is something that I hold near and dear to my heart. People say to me, Howard, look, Darron, we have so many great ideas, but we can't get funding. And so we, listening to them, are establishing the Golden Isles Entrepreneurship Microfund to help small businesses and existing businesses.
So should I move back to my townhouse?
I think you should. This is gonna be fantastic. Listen, I'm so passionate about this. You know, my work at BAIC, what we do is we connect entrepreneurs and farmers to funding opportunities. So this is what we do, whether that's through the SBDC, whether that's through BDB, Bahamas Development Bank. In this instance, in my 10-point plan, we are talking about something specific. We are talking about a Golden Isles Entrepreneurship Microfund.
So this is constituency
Yes.
focus.
This is purely constituency focused. This is Golden Isles focus.
Okay, so let's be clear with this now, because historically people like to be able to kind of chalk political organization into a specific bucket, especially when it comes to distribution. So you're saying that this is the Golden Isles Constituency Entrepreneurship Microfund, red and yellow, black and white, FNM, PLP, COI, independent. This is something that we extended to everyone in the constituency.
Red and yellow, black and white, they are all precious in his sight.
Praise Jesus. Praise God. I like it, right? I like it.
And so, but this is how that is why I talk about I'm a new generation politician. Because we are talking about taking care of Bahamians. That is what we're doing, Howard. Right? We are all Bahamians. That is the point. And that is the important factor. That is why I'm new generation. That is why in rolling out this plan, this is a community-based plan. This isn't a yellow plan or gold plan or blue plan or red plan. This is a plan that was developed by listening to the constituents of Golden Isles. They say to me that, look, we want to ensure that we maintain and we upgrade our infrastructure. And so you've already started to see work happening in Golden Isles. And that was a part of a national program, but work has started. More sidewalks are currently being laid in Golden Isles.
If I must say, I ride through the constituency a few times. It looks a little cleaner. I guess you get people on the road. Some things are taken care of and whatnot. Is that something that you've actually started to focus on already?
Yes.
The beautification of this.
Absolutely. We have moved so many derelict cars out of the community. I mean, I was on site when these cars were being removed, and that was, people were like, we wanted that removed because that is causing a security concern for us. We did bulk waste cleanup in the community, and we are continuing to do that. This wouldn't stop after November. This is continuous. right? Because people want to take pride in their community. They want to feel that it's home, somewhere they're coming back to that is clean and safe. They want the lights, street lights working. Basic things. They don't want to drop in a pothole and have to go and change their tire. Tires are very expensive these days.
Telling me.
Huh? And so
I have a truck.
we have an obligation. We have an obligation to ensure that we take care of our citizens. And that is what we are doing. That is what the government is doing. And that is what I am focused on in Golden Isles.
I like these particular things. You're talking about this kind of a road repair, the infrastructure, the safer community with the CCTV and the lighting. I think that this is important also. If I'm going to be honest with you, we started to have this kind of a conversation more specifically with the former member of parliament.
Okay.
About what needs to be done and how you can be able to do these particular things. So it is a delight for me to be able to see it here as number 5. Install CCTV cameras and improve lighting in key areas to help reduce crime and protect families, especially on Spikenard Road.
Yes.
And we had a few years back the incident with a young lady, a little baby girl, right?
That's right.
I did something on my show, the foundation and the former place about that. And this is one of the things that was very important.
Yes.
To be able to capture these images, to capture how the things are moving, especially back there on that cow pen stretch.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Which needs more lighting.
It's dark back there.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't be like that.
But that is the focus. That is my focus. Making sure we put lights there so that people can drive safely and people feel safe when they traverse that place at night. And that goes right into our expansion of CCTV. People want to know that the government is taking care of these concerns. And these are real concerns. I've spoken to mothers who work the graveyard shift, Howard. When they come home, they don't need a street light blown. That light need to be working. They need to understand that, you know what, there's a CCTV camera to capture things in this community. They need to understand. That's important to them. And these should be basic things.
What about transportation? I know this may be a little bit sort of a one-off. I know that we would have seen some movement over the advance poll and even prior to that in terms of persons being set up. One of the issues that a lot of persons have is that the bus will go right there to Bacardi Road. You got to walk the rest of the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to walk to Adelaide if you live there. You got to walk to these particular places.
Or hike a ride.
The
government is looking into this to see how that can be extended. And obviously the traffic isn't heavy coming out there. And so, it would have to be something that would have to be subsidized. But the government is taking a serious look at this.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Talk to me about the beautification of the park. One of the issues is whenever I took my babies to the park over the years that we were there, they're grown now. I can't even call them babies no more, right? But when I took them there to be able to enjoy the park, to shoot around in the basketball court, lights were broken, things were there.
No nets.
No nets in the basketball rim. At one point, the backboard, because it was a glass backboard, the backboard was broken almost for 2 years. This thing was horrible, right?
Wow.
Yeah, it was in a pretty sight. My babies wanted to swing. The swing was broken. You would go underneath the thing. Depending on whatever kind of activity was happening the night before, you could find bottle caps and a syringe or use prophylactic, if you understand where I'm coming from.
Right.
These things were happening.
Yeah.
What are you doing in terms of being able to look at the park?
Well, advocating to ensure that our parks have lights. That's important. I grew up on the park. I grew up playing basketball, right? And I recently put up nets on all of the basketball courts in the constituency, and the opposition laughed at me, right? Yes, they only cost me $10 or $15 to do that. But you know what? There was none. And so I placed them because that's important to me. When I played basketball, Howard.
You know but playing ball.
Yeah, and I.
You know but playing ball.
What? Absolutely.
Because listen, I don't even know if it gone in or if I sitting over here and you shoot a tree and that's an air ball. We don't know. It ain't hit the net. It ain't no net in there. You need nets.
Listen, when that ball go through the net when I was a young man, and
The glorious feeling.
and I heard that song. People don't understand this. These are basic, simple things. Listen. This is what community is about, man. And people normally look at grandiose things, but it's the small things. It's the little things that count. That's what, your girlfriend and your wife tell you. She said, sweetie, it's the little things that count. Don't neglect the little things.
Mm-hmm. I like that, man. I like this kind of a conversation that we're having. I want to talk a little bit about this digital aspect also. Let's see if we can wrap this up. You got three more. We got digital access to smart community tools. Talk to me about that, providing Wi-Fi for public spaces, the launch Golden Isles Smart Hub for the community news and job updates. This is an amazing thing. Talk to me about it.
It is, because, look, in the community, there are so many entrepreneurs in the community of Golden Isles. And we have started to compile a list of job openings so people can avail themselves to those opportunities. We are ensuring that there is Wi-Fi on all public spaces. And this is something that the government is already doing. This is a program that they have already rolled out Wi-Fi in all the parks, etc. So we are ensuring that happens in Golden Isles. And so we are very excited about this digital access and smart community tools, just so that that when kids come to these public spaces, they have access.
I often remember Bishop Neil Ellis's story. I went to Mount Tabor for years, and he would more often than not tell us a story about his childhood and the issues that he had in terms of really being able to get his homework done.
Yeah.
He didn't have light when he was younger. He had to go under the street light if he wasn't done his homework at a particular time, sitting under the lamp and so forth and so on. And anytime I hear about this sort of an idea of being able to charge the parks with Wi-Fi, I'm reminded of Bishop Ellis's story.
Absolutely.
Because so many kids who need to research, access information, so forth and so on, they just don't have the means at home.
They don't. And this goes back to my point one on the plan, the Golden Isles Community Center. This is precisely the reason, right? Because many Bahamian families and students have that same story.
Yeah.
And you would be surprised. They have that same story. So we need to create safe spaces that they can do their homework.
I like this.
Safe spaces where they can get tutored. I mean, I sponsor a free online tutoring course in mathematics, BJC, and BGCSE, and biology. In mathematics.
When you just get time to have children. You say you got a 6-year-old. You working hard.
And a 15-year-old.
And a 15-year-old. You got two.
Two.
My God.
Two.
Working hard, my brother.
Yeah, man.
And so I like this. I want to be able to encourage you to this. I'd like to be able to find out a little bit more about these particular things. I didn't put an asterisk to everything I want to find out more about after our conversation.
Yes.
But tell me about health and wellness for every household, right? Tell me about that. There's sort of an idea of how that was birthed.
Well, that was birthed because, traveling through Golden Isles, there are many senior citizens that are not mobile, right? And they simply want to check their pressure. They simply want to get a light checkup. We are going to have a mobile nurse to do these kind of things, and that will be targeted towards our seniors.
Wow.
In Golden Isles.
A mobile nurse.
Yes. Someone who will go to them.
This is an exciting thing that you're doing.
Absolutely.
My mind just keep running when you start to talk about these things. All right. Tell me about education and training and scholarships. I know that we only get a couple more minutes before we get out of here.
Well,
tell me that.
I'll tell you quickly about it. So when I went to university, the only scholarship that my mind was on was a scholarship that the university itself may have been offering. You remember the City Market Scholarship?
I remember that.
It was $1,500. And then the Life at Key Scholarship. Those were the only things that I had in mind. But the reality is there are so many scholarship opportunities out there. But I think we need to just put all of that in one space so people can understand that this is the laundry list. And listen, we are there as government. You are there to facilitate. That is your role. That is your job, to ensure that citizens can do things better. They have the access. And so your job is to facilitate. And that is what we're doing here. We're going to ensure, we're going to facilitate, and we're going to make all of these things happen. And that even brings me to the help desk and the rapid response team. We have one constituency office, and that's on Bacardi Road, the corner of Bacardi Road. But this community is fairly big. And so I'm looking into having a mobile constituency office where I'm going to go to people. I'm going to go to their communities and their subdivisions. And I'm going to that's where my office is going to be.
I'm impressed with this, by the way.
I'm coming to the people.
I'm impressed with this.
But that's what representation is about. Representation and leadership isn't about just representing a certain segment of the community. That's not leadership. Leadership is about representing everyone. That is leadership. That is what Golden Isles wants. That is what they expect, right? And so when my opponents say that he lived in the community and that's his platform, I mean, is that how low the bar is?
Now, if I can be honest with you, the bar been low for about 25 years. Not in a bad way, right? And it keep getting lower.
Well, you know what? That's precisely why I'm running. To raise the bar. That's why you see these things here. I'm raising the bar. I'm raising the stakes. But it cannot be that because I live here, I'm entitled to represent you. People expect much more than that. That is not what leadership is about. I do not want the kids growing up in this country to think that is leadership.
Wow.
And representation.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here. We're speaking with Darron Pickstock, and he has a plethora of things. I then highlight everything on my paper, right? There's a 10-point plan. Was a website they can be able to go and check it out right now.
Yeah, if you look just on the front of the 10-point plan, you
Golden Isles.
That's our email account.
Oh, that's email.
Yeah, but you can go on our Facebook page, Golden Isles Community Center, Golden Isles Constituency Center. It's all over. You can go on the PLP website. You can go on Instagram, Facebook, and you will see this 10-point plan on all of those platforms. This has been every member of Golden Isles or every resident has this in their email. So every phone number we have, they have this.
You collect 8,000 phone numbers already?
Not all, but everyone we have, they have received this.
Okay.
Not the 8,000.
Guys, you can be able to give him a call at 603-0607, 603-0607. Give him a call at 603-1757, 603-1757. If you're one of those persons, you want to be able to send him an email, you can do so, goldenisles242 at gmail.com, goldenisles242 at gmail.com, or 242-824-7425.
That's right.
Pick heat. And that's what they say, would you?
Pickstock.
That's what it is. Pickstock.
That's
They
it.
tell me they ain't trying Brian's.
No, they ain't trying, Brian. Pickstock. Listen. But civility. Civility out.
With the greatest degree of civility, praise
Yes.
God.
There is a call, and I'm calling for civility. There is a call for civility.
I hope you answer.
Right? Not AI generated messages and messaging at rallies. There is a call for civility, decency. That's what people want. Maturity in politics. That is what people want. And so you could expect the FNM to get very dirty. Yep. You can expect them to get very dirty in these few hours.
You won't be following that.
No. My stakes are high. I'm
When
going
they go
high.
low, praise God.
But you can expect them to get very dirty. You could expect their campaign to be generating so much nastiness and falsehood. But I'm calling for civility because the people of Golden Isles expect decency. They expect maturity. That's what they expect. They don't expect, us to be in the mud. There are too much issues to deal with. There are real concerns that the constituents of Golden Isles have. Let's focus on what your plan is. That's what the focus should be
Or
on.
lack thereof, you mightn't have one.
Or lack thereof, I beg your pardon.
Praise God.
That's what it's about.
Pickstock, I want to thank you, man. I want to thank you for being able to stop by. I want you to know that you're always welcome to this particular space with us and to talk about these particular things. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to be able to, like I said, we're going to officially be opening our own studio. Everything's we're working hard on that. And we'd like to be able to invite you to that space.
Yes.
We want to continue to do this. I think you have something to offer. And I think all the candidates, if I must be absolutely honest with you, anyone who stands up to be able to render themselves, their family, their life, their name and everything on the line to the type of Bahamian people that we know exists,
Yep.
that you must have some conviction in you to kind of propel.
Yes.
But sometimes our aspirations, the idea of what we desire, runs ahead of us, and we're willing to do whatever it takes. Sometimes that's going low to get there. I want to commend you and anyone else who decides to be able to maintain that bar of excellence and be able to show the constituents, whether that is in Golden Isles or any other 39 constituencies in the country, 38 constituencies in the country, of what needs to be done and how it's done. I want to congratulate you, my brother.
Thank you very much, Howard. And just in closing, because I know we have to go, I want the voters, I want the constituents, I want the residents of Golden Isles to remember that Darron Pickstock showed up. Darron Pickstock listened to them, and he worked, because I'm a doer. I'm not asking them, Howard, I'm not asking the constituents for blind trust. I'm asking them to give me one chance. That's what I'm asking them. To give me one chance to prove that progress can be real. Progress can be honest and consistent in Golden Isles. I am asking the constituents of Golden Isles for their vote on November 24th.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the show today. Vote Darron Pickstock. Come November, that's what he says. Vote Darron Pickstock on November 24th.
And that's on Monday.
8 a.m. Polling Division 1, 2, 5, 9A, and 9B is going to be at Adelaide Primary. And all the other polling divisions will be at Untold Rogers. We're hoping, fingers crossed, we're hoping to be out there and go live. I'm trying to talk to some people right now. They ain't called me back yet. Call me now, babies. Call me now, right? Let's see if we can be able to make this thing happen. I'd love to be out there just to be able to get the feel and the energy of what's happening on Monday as we continue to be able to do those things. You think these people can call me? I'd like it to happen.
They can call you.
They can call me?
Yeah.
Praise God.
They can call you.
Well, we're going to be able to make these things happen, guys. Make sure your vote counts. Don't spoil your ballot. 200 and some votes the other day or spoiled ballot. What you was doing? What you was doing in there? Let's make it count. Put it in the right space. Put it in the right place. Let's make these particular things happen. Vote your conscience, your convictions, what your expectations are, what you would like to see for the constituency, who has been showing up, what you believe they can do. If you believe your candidate, vote. We hope to see. You think 8,000 people can come out?
Well, that's what we're hoping.
Oh, Jesus. Well, let's see, guys. We're going to see you on Monday, God Spirit Life. I want to tell you, man, Darron, absolutely all the best to you.
Thank you.
And your family. I know this is going to be a hard time for you. I know everybody get their fingers crossed, their toes crossed, and everything like that. And you're really working hard.
Thank you.
But
thank you.
we really believe that your conviction and the conviction of those persons who presented themselves in this by-election is strong enough that the people will show up and vote accordingly.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. All the
right.
absolute best. Guys, you can see you on Monday, God Spirit Life, right here on The Foundation.